All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tires, and Kawasaki Motorcycles. Welcome to round 6 of the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup here at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, and our riders are ecstatic to be here.
Hi, I'm Jason Langeveld.
Hi guys, I'm Keith Agliotti.
Hi, I'm Teddy Brook.
Hi, my name's Brian Bonzukonang.
Hi, my name is Ronald Slamet.
Hi, I'm David Entigott. Welcome to the ZX10 Masters Cup.
Glad to be back at Kyalami for a 4-day event, which is amazing.
First time at Kyalami, obviously living up to the hype.
I've never been here before with a new circuit layout, so this weekend is something for me to learn.
Racing on the best track in the country.
It's been a lifelong dream to be able to race such an amazing racetrack.
We just need to stay on the penny whistle and try and win both races.
And thanks to all our sponsors,
SunBet,
Red Square,
Bridgestone, and NGK Spark Plugs. It's absolutely amazing to be at this racetrack, and wish all the other riders the best.
It certainly is a fan favourite and a firm favourite amongst the riders as well to be at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. Just tell Dr. Stewie about it though, because he doesn't look like he's too happy. He's just psyching himself up, and there are different ways to psych yourself up. The Panaganapathi using the greatest hits of Pavarotti there to get himself psyched up for this first race of the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup here at Kyalami. And it is fantastic to be back at this circuit. It's certainly, as I said, a fan favourite and a rider's favourite circuit. And high fives to a couple of the guys on the sideline as they get out onto track, and looking forward to race number 1. In qualifying, it was amazing to see these bikes out on circuit, and all the Festival of Motoring fans were loving life as the riders were coming past at breakneck speeds. You can see from the qualifying how tight it was. Brilliant to see over 30 motorcycles fighting it out here, with Ronald Slamet, Graham Van Bredal and Trevor Westman on the front row. Jason Lamb, Brian Bontekoning and Dave Entigott showing the usual campaigners at the front end. Watch out for battles in that mid-pack as well, and we go down to 31st place there. A welcome return to Lundy Sinden, our lady rider, who's come back from maternity duties and itching to get back onto the motorcycle and take it up with this huge field of riders. 33 of them in total coming here to Kyalami at the Festival of Motoring. 33, imagine that. After Brad Binder's just set an amazing lap time, we're on board with Henk Scaling, ready to go now for race number 1. Join us after the break as we get those lights out and we go racing here at the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Welcome back to Kyalami. What a backdrop there, Santon in the background, and looking at the foreground here, it's the Kyalami International Grand Prix Circuit, and SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup are in the house. Trevor Westman, third on the grid, looking to try and get up the inside there and possibly get to Crowthorne first. Let's see what's going to happen now as those lights go out. And we go racing for the first time at Kyalami for SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup in 2022. Ooh, Westman off the line, got eaten up there a little bit. Even Wayne Shelley got off the line a little bit better than him as they turn down in towards it, up the inside. Oh, it's getting up close and personal here with Westman as they get down onto the brakes. Look at this, 33 motorcycles spreading out with a huge amount of space there. Can you imagine? Oh, problems for Safiso Temba. Safiso Temba's got his hand up already, heading into turn 1. And into turn 1, looks like a rider down. Oh, Rob Craig is down in the middle of the circuit. Whoa, Golgocci just missing him there. Very lucky to miss the down rider. Safiso Temba's got problems. He's got his hand up and he's heading into pit lane. At the front end, Van Bredal's got problems as well as Lamb moves up the inside looking for a way through to get to the lead. Wayne Shelley, what a start from him. He's just tucked in there behind Hein McMahon as they head onto the back straight for the first time up towards, we haven't mentioned this corner in a long time, Sunset. Into Sunset Corner, and here they come. All 31 of them now. 2 of those riders man down and into the pit lane. So we'll keep an eye on whether Rob Craig gets back on track or not. We're back on board here with Hein McMahon as they go through the S's for the first time. Slucky looking very good as he tucks in behind and looks like he's moving up to the back end there. I think that might be Agliotti at the front end. What a start there from Keith Agliotti as well on the Ridgeway Race Bar bike. Now they come up onto the brakes to the top of Leocop for the first time and pitch it into the triple left-hander. They come down the hill. This is where you get everything she's got. Jag Power Products, Brian Bontekoning going to show us what it's like through the sweep. Just a little roll off, not Kevin Schwann style where he went through there absolutely pinned. Can you imagine if we get MotoGP back here at some point? It'll be amazing. But ZX10s are putting on a show of note, as always. Anywhere they go, they put an amazing motorcycle event together. And here at Kyalami at the Festival of Motoring, the crowds on the sideline, there was about 60,000 people that came through here over the weekend. They were loving the fact that they had some race action here provided by SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Front end, it's Lamb leading things out over Van Bredal. On their tail, you can see a big move there from Trevor Westman, trying to find a way through there on Ronald Slamet. The 2 Cape Town boys fighting hard to get ahead of East London and Springs' favourites. But as they come onto the main straightaway to complete that first lap, let's have a look at a replay here as they went down into turn 1. This is Hein McMahon, Rob Craig on the inside here. Does he get a little bit of a tap? No, the back end just steps out on him. The back end stepping out there on the Mad Max motorcycle, Kawasaki, and unfortunately he's down. Watch Golgochi. Oh, I thought we might get to see Golgochi going flying around the outside. This is from a partner's point of view. Oh, it's going to be tight. Oh, man, that was huge. The back end stepped out there big time for Rob Craig, as you can see. Fortunately, he got back up, but I think he's actually got riding again. We'll keep an eye on him in the back of the field. At this stage, though, it is Van Breda who leads things out as they come up through Yuxka and Barbecue and onto the back straight away. You can see Jason Lamb trying to close him down, but Ronald Slamet seems to be trying to get away from the other two riders just behind him. Entercott and Westman are giving him an absolute run for their money. Remember, Dave Entercott and Trevor Westman also from Cape Town, and Westman on the brand new ZX10. So he's getting used to that new machinery, and he's the only one out there at this stage. So he's definitely going to be a man to watch out for, and a lot of the riders around him will be looking to see what the progress of that new ZX10 is. This is Westman's point of view as they go into the S's. Tucked in, and it's a big left-right flick up towards Leeuwkop. Following Brian Bontekoning up the hill towards that crest of the hill, and you can see just how difficult it is here, and they come up on the top. It's a blind rise into a triple left-hander at Leeuwkop, and over 200 k's an hour before you climb on the anchors, bang down the box, and then flick it through a triple left-hander. Good to see some manoeuvring here from Keith Agliotti. Great to have him back in the pack as well, and in that mid-pack there's some great little battles. Look at that, starting to sort things out there. DeFoss, Munton and Teddy Brook going at it. Some changes at the front end here. Look at how things are going. Ooh, sounds like somebody might have run wide there. It might have been a problem. Yes, it was. A massive problem for Van Breda. That's given... this is Brian Bontekoning being overtaken by Trevor Westwood. I was about to say it's given Ronald Slamet the lead as they head down towards the final corner and into Ingwe. There you go. It is Slamet from Van Breda and then Westman. Where is Jason Lamb? Jason Lamb's gone missing. Jason Lamb has gone down somewhere on circuit, and that is going to be a huge loss there. If he's not able to get that motorcycle back up. There he is. On the sideline and off the motorcycle. Doesn't look like he can get it back up and running again. Jason Lamb is going to lose out huge here. This is not what he needed. Championship leader coming into this round. Look, there you see it. Oh, big moment there between Van Breda and Jason Lamb. Jason Lamb getting flung off the motorcycle as he came together there with GVBD, and I can tell you now there's not going to be any love lost between those two. They've been fighting frantically all season long, and the championship battle is certainly up for grabs. We saw how intent Jason Lamb has been on the last couple of rounds, taking victory after victory. And Graham Van Breda here at what he would seem as his second home circuit definitely had the advantage here over Jason Lamb. Probably had to put a couple more laps in on this circuit than anybody else has. Westman's certainly going to be feeling it a little bit as well. Hasn't done as many laps as the two riders in front of him here at this circuit. I know Ronald Slamet came into the track day here with Lacquer Racing. I think Westman is only out here for first or second time ever. Graham Van Breda certainly has got a lot of experience around here. We're looking at Westman trying to close things down here on the back end of Van Breda. Van Breda is definitely closing on the back end of Slamet. That gap has closed down rapidly compared to what it was. That's a great shot. The left flick and the right flick through the S's are now up to just over 200 k's an hour before you get up on that blind rise. There you see the backdrop of Kyalami and the Festival of Motoring in the background. And these three riders are not worried about that at all. Trevor Westman is looking for his first victory here at Kyalami. That'll be amazing to see. Further back, DeFoss fighting with the Panaganapati as they pitch it into the left-handers now. Trying to get onto the back end there. You can see Wayne Shelley's just in the mix there too. And the yellow bike, the Chop 74 bike. Then it's Ridgeway Race Bars. Keith Agliotti being closed down by Panaganapati has got through. He's found a way past on DeFoss. And now starts to close things down on the Ridgeway Race Bar band. You can see Agliotti's his next target. With that orange persimmon lens, he's definitely going to be in it. Mid-pack here as well. This is fantastic race action as always. The 99 bike there of Rod McLaughlin. Back in it as we saw in East London. And under big pressure here from Stephen Golgochi with some massive improvements in his riding style as they go through Crocodile. Brilliant stuff. Heading into Ingwe corner now. Look at Landy Sinden. She's back in it as well. Having a fantastic dice here with Travis Nordier. Travis Nordier with the lady rider on his tail, and there's some big pressure just behind. Steve, he's pushing hard. Steve Golgochi trying to get to that front end. Speaking of the front end, let's go back to them. This is Ronald Slamet. And Slamet hanging on for now. Can he keep Van Breda and Westman out for the rest of this race? It's going to be very, very difficult for him to do that. You can see just how determined Graham Van Breda is to get to the front end. He's looking around the outside and looking for an inside corner into Clubhouse. And coming through Sunset now. He goes inside, looking for a late braking maneuver. Can he get through? Yes, he does. New leader into Clubhouse corner, and it's Graham Van Breda who squeezes out Ronald Slamet. Slamet going to come straight back at him though. Slamet looking to get into the S's and takes it. Oh, this is awesome. Chopping and changing, and Westman with the best seat in the house, giving us great onboards here as they go to the S's. Now it's the big squeeze on up the hill. Over 200 k's an hour, and this is what it's all about in the ZX10Rs. These three riders have been going at it all season long. Pity we lost Lamb there. He would have been in the mix as well. And look at Westman around the outside. Absolutely amazing stuff. Trying to find grip where there isn't any. Those Bridgestones are crying out, and Trevor Westman saying, come on, you got this. Now they go flying through that left sweep in towards Crocodile. This is where things could get real interesting. We've already seen an incident between Van Breda and Lamb. Can he find a way through here on Ronald Slamet? We'll have to wait and see. Slamet hangs on for now. He goes defensive as they go through Crocodiles, heading towards Cheetah now. This is where, oh, it's brilliant. Look at that, Westman's right there with Vambadar. As they come through Cheetah, he's going to try and get up the inside into with the final corner. Is he close enough? No, he's not this time. Slam It goes defensive. It might compromise his drive onto the main straight there by that defensive line. Let's wait and see. Yes, it does. Look at that, Vambadar on the inside with the squeeze. He's heading there, and they are side by side. Now, this is what it's all about in ZX10 Masters Cup. Oh, man, you do not get a better shot than this from Trevor Westman. Two riders absolutely flat out at 280 k's an hour before they climb on the anchors and bang it down the box into Crowthorne. And Westman looking for a way through. Can he get there? No, he can't. Just not enough on the brakes there to get up the inside of the Red Baron. How's this angle from Hein McMahon's camera? And Slam It keeps the door shut. The killer's on a move though, and he means business. Trevor Westman is absolutely loving life here at Kyalami as they come up once again through past the pit lane. This is the pit lane of the ZX10s on the left-hand side, remember, because of the Festival of Motoring here this weekend. And they go into Sunset Corner, and it looks like Vambadar's pulled the wick. He has. He's pulling away here dramatically from these two because the two Cape Town boys are fighting it out amongst themselves. They're going to going at it for first and second. Westman on the inside for second place. He's going to go one step higher than he has been all race season long. He's up into the lead, of the Cape Town battle, but second place on the road. That is an amazing dice there. And Brian Bontekun is in a bit of a dice of his own as well, as Dave Venticott and Johan LaRue are starting to close him down there for a potential fourth place. Bonte was up at the front end. He lost a little bit of ground after that incident with Vambadar and Lamb, and now seems to be losing a little bit more ground. Harwood trying to close things down here, and Oberholzer as they come out of Clubhouse Corner heading to the S's. In Harwood, you can see just pushing it to the limit to try and catch the back end of the 34 bike. The number one bike out front, though, looks like he's going to hang on here. The flag is waiting for Graham Vambadar. After a big moment there with Jason Lamb midway through the race, Westman's going to hang on for second and Slam It will get third, but the flag is out and race one at Kyalami goes to Graham Vambadar. He needed that one desperately. Vambadar takes it from Westman and Slam It. Bontekun in fourth, hung on to beat out Entercott and Johan LaRue. Hein McMahon in seventh ahead of Gunapathy, and then it was Wayne Shelley and Keith Agliotti, the top 10. Let's catch up now with Jason Lamb and find out what happened down in the bowl.
Graham are having such a nice race. We were getting away from the guys. He left a little gap there that I thought was a gap. I thought I'm going to try past him. He decided I'm not going to pass him, and unfortunately we hit each other and I went down. Hopefully we can get the bike fixed and we'll be back for the second round.
Let's catch up now with second place rider Trevor Westman.
See, we're on the brand new 2022 Kawasaki, and we're running it in total stock trim. I ran out of talent there on the start with the launch control, so I was about 7th or 8th into turn 1. But we gradually got up all the way to the front and missed out by the win by half a second, which is great for the first time out on this bike. So now myself and Greg and my dad and the Team Wayward crew are setting the bike up, and hopefully for race 2 we can maybe pull some more strings.
First race winner is Graham Vambadar, and it looks like he's taken the lead of the championship.
Myself and Jason ended up tangling at the bottom of the bowl. I clipped my back tailpiece, but the problem was the bike hooked onto the back of his bike, and we nearly both went down, but we've had a bit of a nightmare this weekend. I had the same issue yesterday. Lafrost rode into the back of me on the main straight at about 250 k's now. Also the bike's hooked up, and shame he ended up crashing. We hope he's okay, and my bike managed to just loosen itself at the last minute, but looks like the Angels are with me today, so we managed to win the first one, and hoping for another 3 good results. It's going to be a long day, and another long day on Sunday with another 20 laps around Kyalami. 10 today and another 20 tomorrow.
Yep, those Bridge Suns are going to be pushed to the limit, that's for sure, even with this youngster. It's time for a quick reload and refresh. See if we can fight for that. Hey, Louise, thanks for being here from SunBet. Join us after the break for race 2. Welcome back to action from the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup here at Kyalami and the Festival of Motoring. As I said, 60,000 people through the gates throughout the weekend, and they were entertained big time, not only on track but off track as well. They got up close and personal with some of the riders and a couple of guys giving their opinions as to what happened down in the bowl between Vambadar and Lamb. Definitely got some opinions, and all the guys have been watching have certainly loved the action that ZX10 have provided. A couple of guys with some work to do though. There's certainly a bit of repairs that have to be done. Jason Lamb's bike being worked on frantically to get it all sorted out. So is Rob Craig. We saw him go down in turn 1 at Crowthorne. It looks like Dieter Hazeman also had some issues on the circuit. Speaking of issues, Ron Slammer with some forearm pump issues.
Towards the last 3 laps, I had really bad arm pump, struggled to stop the bike. Obviously, that allowed Graham and Trevor to close me down. So I need to work on some stuff physically just to get me a bit stronger. But, we're going to put our heads together for the last race today and see how we can improve for that. Hopefully we'll bring it home.
Final bit of preparations, and SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup are ready to go. It's time to go racing. Riders on track now for the second time this weekend and looking forward to another epic battle throughout this field. Back on board with the A-Systems Kawasaki of Henk Scaling. Let's have a look and see what it looks like from his point of view off the start. See those revs picking up to 10.5 and drops the hammer, and there they go down towards turn 1. It's a little right flick before they head down towards Crowthorne, and 30 motorcycles all barreling down towards turn 1 at Crowthorne. Watch for them to spread out under braking. And that is just an amazing sight. Good sight to see Safisa Temba not putting the hand up this time and going through turn 1 and in the pack. And he's side by side with, this is at DeFoss. Yes, he is. Good start there from Safisa Temba. All flicking it left and right to try and find a way through there. And they eventually all get into some kind of rhythm and some kind of ride to get into Barbecue and Yuxkai. Here's a Pana Ganapathy trying to close things down on the back end of Hein McMahon. We're on upon Ganapathy's point of view now. The Art Racing Machine heading towards Sunset. On his inside, he had Wayne Shelley up. Shelley might have a look on the inside here. I don't think he was close enough to get up the inside, but he was definitely close enough to get right behind him. There you can see him. The yellow Shop 74 Kawasaki in the background fighting Varners, of course, in the Grandmasters title. Teddy Brooks on his tail. So the fight is on there. Bontekoning a little bit further up the road there from them, so he's going to have to do some work to try and catch that one. But what a start there, nonetheless, from the front end. Han McMahon, X-Pro Security Solutions Kawasaki, flicks it into the S's. It's lucky having a phenomenal season. Since he's joined ZX10, he's definitely found his niche. He is loving life in this championship as they head to the top of the hill now for the first time, and under braking up towards Leeuwkop. Van off from Westman, and then Westman's got Slammed on his tail. Bontekoning with a fantastic start. Jason Lamb's already up to 5th. He's just snuck through there on Johan. So Johan Leroux under a bit of pressure from Keith Agliotti. Then it's Anticott on his tail. Panaganapathy, Wayne Shelley in the background, just keeping an eye out on that Shop 74 bike of his, fighting with Peter DeFoss, and there with Teddy Brook, the Silver Surfer. How's this fanning out into Crocodiles? Ooh, close stuff there between Anticott and getting real up close and personal there with Agliotti. The two of them nearly touching on a similar vein to what we saw in race number 1 there between Van Breda and Lamb. Change up here, and a little bit more impetus being put in here by the Red Baron onto the back end of that Stefanuti Stocks bike of the hard-charging Graham Van Breda, looking for a double victory here today. That will definitely secure him the lead of this championship, as Bontekoning looks for a 4th place here and a possible win in the Grand Masters side of things. As they head down towards Crowthorne, you can see he's just not able to bridge that gap. And the wayward Kawasaki of Trevor Westman also battling to stay with the pace being set by Ronald Slamet and Graham Van Breda as they come out of Crowthorne. Head through the flick down up towards Yuxkai and through Barbecue. This is where things can get real up close and personal, and you can see that's exactly what's happening here. Johan Leroux is staying with Jason Lamb, trying to get him an opportunity to get away from this hard-charging pack led out by Keith Agliotti. Then it's Anticott. As I said, Panaganapathy, Han McMahon in there as well, and Wayne Shelley. Any one of those riders can make their way up into the top 5 overall at the end of this one. And it's not done just yet, because there's still some fighting to be had amongst these riders. See Panaganapathy slowly but surely reeling in the back end of Wayne Shelley. He means business and wants to close that gap down and get through. But it's Jason Lamb who needs to do more than anybody else out there. The Max 4 cars and Tire Mart Kawasaki absolutely hauling at this point in time, trying to close down there on the Tire Vault machine, and I can tell you there's not going to be an easy task there for Jason Lamb. A damaged motorcycle is not always the best motorcycle to be on, and he'll do the best he can to secure as many points as possible, but the gap is being pulled away here big time for the top 3. The gap between Westman and Slamet has come down though, and Westman has definitely closed down that gap dramatically compared to what we saw in the last lap there onto Slamet. So he means business. Westman looking for a double here on terms of second places, possibly even the victory, if he can find a way through, but he's not quite close enough just yet. That Voltmart machine of Slamet's going well, and you can see he battled, and you heard from him as well, battling on forearm pump in the closing stages. We'll keep an eye on that. Further back, this is Byron Rothkell fighting with Safisa Temba, just outside of the top 10 at this point in time for these two. They're having a fantastic bite. The Dog Doctor's just behind them, and it looks like joining them is Aubrey Murray, Johan Fourie, and looks like we've also got Lundy Sinden in the mix there too. Great to have the Lady Rider back in the mix, as I said. Here we go, big move up the inside. 82 just having a quick squiz, and just getting through there. Nicely done from Henk Kruger. Kruger also had some battles. Remember, he had to go and find a spare bike after a big crash at the brunch run the week before this event. So fortunately found a Kawasaki somewhere for him to get on board and still have some fun and games and secure some championship points. Looks like the man out front wants to secure the maximum championship points in the first 2 races of the weekend, and that's exactly what he's doing, getting away from the Cape Town boys, leaving them to fight it out amongst themselves. Van Breda has opened up 10 bike lengths over the 2 Cape Townians. Westman on the inside in the clubhouse, perfectly done. Second place for the wayward Kawasaki, ahead of that Voltmart bike. So it looks like Slamet's going to have to try and find a way past again. Further back, Hein McMahon, cameraman from race 1 who did some amazing footage for us, is now looking for a chance to possibly be into that top 6 overall. X-Pro Security Solutions Kawasaki flicking it left and right. This time we've got the GoPro on the back of his bike. Hopefully it stays on this time. We saw some dramatic footage in race number 1 from him, and we're seeing some great action from him here in race 2 as well, as he's closed down and is closing down on the battle for 4th place. Nice run there from him. Then it's the Foss further back there with Teddy Brook. Nice little battle too between the two of them. This has been a long-standing battle. One of the 2 stalwarts of this category, been around for a long, long time, both Teddy Brook and, as I said, the welcome return of Peter de Vos only a couple of race meetings ago sees him back into the hunt at the front end of a field that he's absolutely loved being part of. This is a Ganapathy as they go through Cheetah, heading towards Ingwe. They're going to close things down there. Is a Ganapathy going to have anything to do about Dave Endicott? Oh, we got a change up. Oh, a mistake somewhere from Van Badar. That's Westman in the front. Westman has hit the front. Graham Van Badar must have made a mistake somewhere down, maybe possibly at Crowthorne under braking, and it's given Westman an opportunity to get to the front. You don't give the killer a chance like that. He will make you pay. Ronald Slamet has been caught napping there ever so slightly, and he's lost a lot of ground after a small mistake there from the man who would be king here and looking for double points. Now Westman wants to spoil the day. He's going to turn that top 2 steps of the podium around there for himself. Slamet is miles behind, as you can see. He wasn't ready to capitalize on it. Maybe he's battling with arm pump again here. He really did battle in the first one. I saw AJ massaging his arms there just between the races to see if he can get as much of that lactic acid out as possible. 4-arm pump is a difficult thing to have on a motorcycle. It makes the motorcycle very difficult to stop. And, mistake from Westman. Up at Leocorp. You don't do that with Van Badar on your tail. Graham Van Badar comes up close and personal. And, look at the back end of Van Badar's bike stepping out there as he went on the inside to get through on Westman. Fantastic inside line there from Van Badar, seeing Westman running ever so slightly wide. He had to cut back. It would compromise his drive down into the bowl slightly. Watch for Westman with a wider sweeping line coming out of Crocodiles. And heading towards the checkered flag. I think Van Badar's got enough here. I think he might just have enough here to keep Westman out. They flick through the right-hander at Cheetah, heading to the final corner now. This is Ingwe corner. No, Westman is not going to have an answer here. He's going to try the sweeping line and maybe go for the dive up the inside on acceleration and a drag race to the line. But no, look at Van Badar. Got on the loud pedal and he's gone. 2 races and 2 wins there for Graham Van Badar. 2 races and 2 second places for Trevor Westman. He'll be happy with that, but of course he's going to be pushing hard in the next 2 later on this weekend. Van Badar takes out Westman ahead of Slamet. Then it was Bontekoning and LaRue fighting for 4 and 5. McMahon, Agliotti, Endicott, Ganapathy and Shelley, your top 10. Let's catch up now with Class A winner and second place Trevor Westman after a fantastic dice.
So I had a really good start. I was in 3rd place. Had a really good battle there with Ronald. Sussed him out a little bit, passed him on the inside. And then, which was the best part of it, was leading the race. So I led the race for 6 laps, went into the 51s for 6 laps, and unfortunately made a mistake in Westbank and Graham came past. But well done to him. And I just want to say a big thank you to Team Wayward, Project 60SO. They built such a good bike. And to Kawasaki South Africa, thank you so much.
Let's catch up now with our race 1 winner, Class B winner and championship leader.
Trevor was stronger on half the circuit and I was stronger on the other half, so I knew if I could get in front of him, I knew I wouldn't be able to pull a gap, so I knew it's going to be a fight to the last lap. And he ran a little bit wide going to Westbank on the last corner, second last corner, third last corner, and I managed to just sneak it up his inside. And I knew then if I blocked the line into the bottom of the bowl and pit corner, he won't be able to pass me because that was just one of the sections where I was strong with. So really happy to get the double and super happy to be back at Kyalami. And a massive thanks to my sponsors, to Stefanidi Stocks and to Motel. All the class sponsors, Bridgestone, Red Square, SunBet, NGK. Thanks guys, thanks for supporting us. Cheers.
Okay, Red Square, rider of the day goes to Lundy Stadium.
Oh, so awesome. Great being back. Enjoyed myself thoroughly. Qualified a bit badly, but yeah, it's first time after a year and a half being back on the bike, and it's just been amazing being at this event. Motorsport Festival has just been really great and accommodating for all the guys racing, and our pit setup, the guys have been great. Yeah, so just having fun and glad being back out there.
Class A sees Westman take the overall ahead of his Cape Townian rivals, Ronald Slamet and Dave Endicott. In Class B, it was Van Badar on the Stefanudi Stocks Kawasaki, beating out Ganapathy and Aubrey Murray. In Class C, great ride from Brian Bontekoning, top 4 overall. He wins out over Wayne Shelley, and a great run there once again from the old man of the mountains, Johan LaRue, always in the mix. And a couple of fun awards as well going out to Trevor Westman. He'll be happy with that. Rob Craig, I think probably for the crash of the day. He made a massive recovery. And there you go with the injured shoulder. Looks like we're going to see him back in action real soon. Dieter Hazelman. That's a wrap of round 6 here from Kyalami. Join us on the next show for round 7 action, the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tyres, and Kawasaki Motorcycles.